Hello, welcome to our next week. So lovely to see your faces and to see your names. Um, I um, I was just sneezing this time of year, and there are a lot of things in the air that. So if you are hearing a little, I'm just settling into being here in this new day. So one of the things that was occurring to me this morning in our moving from fear to love through presence is that our awareness has these three different aspects. And I'd like to have you just play with this with me before we get into some loop of awareness. So I'd like you to tune into all of the richness and beauty and space that's around you. And I'd like you to let yourself spread out into that. It's kind of an invisible love scoop where you're using your senses to gather. You're welcome to use your hands, but you could also use your ears. You could use your body to spread out and gather all of the beauty that's around you right now, and to open up to the colors that you love and that nourish you, and the feel of this cloth, the beauty of that, and to let myself receive that. Because I think one of the big issues for a lot of us right now is having walled ourselves off from all of the chaos. It's very difficult to receive. If you've got if you've got all of the, I was just thinking about a sieve, and if I'm rinsing off something and there's a bunch of debris in there, the water is not going to go through. So I wonder if you would be willing to expand your cells, your breath, and your willingness to receive. So spreading out into all of that, especially beauty. Like I'm seeing the contrast of the light and shade, and the different lights on how it makes green look different outside my window, and just letting all of that sensory richness like fill my inner reservoir. And notice if your in-breath really expands all the way into allowing you to fully receive that. Because a lot of times we stop our in-breath, we take a short in-breath and then hold our breath. So let yourself be receiving all of that richness around you. Don't forget to receive through your back as well, for a couple of really expanded, luxurious in-breaths. And notice that your own body may have its own unique way of receiving. There might be a spontaneous little wiggle that comes up, or a sigh. So just notice how your body rejoices in receiving, and how you might open up to receiving any more than usual. And you might notice the kinds of thoughts that come up when you're receiving, like, oh, that's enough. I don't want to save some for others. So if you'd be willing to just fully receive. Yeah. So I can feel my face expanding. I can feel my throat opening as I'm receiving. So the first part of awareness and the loop of awareness is having this rich, full reservoir. And then the next part is how that moves through you. If you let that flow of awareness move freely, or if you kink the hose. And one of the big ways, there are a couple of ways that people kink the hose I'd like you to experiment with. One is kinking your body. So let yourself find any little kinks in your spine, in your neck, in your legs, and just unkink that. Let yourself just unwind, unspiral. You can use wiggling, stretching, breathing. Just open that, particularly down the middle of you. Particularly your diaphragm. Sometimes people kind of sit on themselves. So those of you who are sitting, notice if you're sitting on yourself and let yourself rise up out of your pelvis and feeling that elongation. You know, those hoses that you can pull and they coil up, but you can pull them and they unwind. Imagine gently pulling on your spine so that it unwinds and gives you all of this space. As I do that, I can feel the uprising of energy. We're meant to express, and that uprising of energy wants to move out into the world. And my guess is that all of you are very generous in that regard in your giving. And I want to invite you to make sure that you're filling your reservoir so that you have plenty to give, that it's an overflow. Yeah, beautiful. So filling your reservoir, then unkinking the hose. And then what we do in loop of awareness is really a lot of using all of that awareness with focus. So our intention to spread out our loop of awareness like a fan, or to focus it very precisely to touch some place that you want to give that kind of keen attention to, or letting it sprinkle out. There are all of these myriad of ways that you can send your attention. So I'd like you to let the hose come up, and I'd like you to choose a familiar way that you let your attention go out. So it might be like one pointed, it might be looking for what's wrong. It might be trying to be helpful and kind of looking around. So notice what it's like to send your attention out in a familiar way. And usually when we do that, we don't return it. So just notice if it just kind of stayed out there, but you didn't deliberately bring your attention back to you. So I'd like you to use your hands for our practice where you're sending it out deliberately and you're letting it land, and then you're bringing it back to you. And notice where in you want to bring the attention back to you. And do you want to let it shower over you? Do you want to have little drops of love? Do you want to wrap yourself up with it? So letting your body tell you on each one of these loops how you're wanting to focus your attention. So this time out, I'd like you to try something new for you. If you're definitely one pointed, let it fan out, or let it be like one of those sprinklers in the summer where it goes. And notice if you again let your attention land, and then bring it back to you in some new way. Kind of doing a reverse moonwalk with my hands here, back to me. And again, do you let it land? And one of the main things that I notice is happening in society right now is another speed up. We're in another, hurry up, speed up, get a bunch of stuff done. I don't know where people think they're going, but there's this kind of boom, get a gathering nuts. This is the kind of gathering nuts time of year. So we got to hurry, make sure we get enough nuts. So when I do that, I feel my energy come up. I feel my breath get shorter. I scare myself by getting fast. So let yourself just notice how if you're doing your loop of awareness fast, what kind of fear and how it generates fear for you. So just go ahead and do your loop of awareness really fast. I got to get in a lot of loop of awareness and I don't want to leave anything out. And so notice that, and then notice what happens to your body when you do that. So that, remember that reservoir and that uprising of energy, that kind of disappears. It disappears for me. So notice how it disappears for you. So if you were going to focus on one thing to shift all of that, let yourself play with the pace of your loop. And I want to recommend that you let it be leisurely. And you let it be more rounded than sharp. And let yourself play with a pace that right now feels most delicious to you, of letting it move out and letting it move back in. And again, landing. So when you are going leisurely enough, the landing can have its own reverberation. The landing has its own lovely kind of, I was just remembering jumping up and down on the bed as a kid. And the most fun was the landing. So you jump and then you plop and then. So your attention can be that delicious of landing on the pillows, falling into the pillows on your bed and just letting all of that land. And creating that sense of safety in landing. And let yourself play with that for just a couple of letting your attention go out, letting your attention come in. So we have the filling the reservoir, the unkinking the hose, and then the playing with different paces to give you that sense of deliciousness in exchanging in your loop of awareness, so that you're actually here for the experience and not out ahead of you. So let's see what our Presence Connect play has for us today. All right, so these are wonderful. So the presence meme, and this, by the way, is Presence Connect play, which we're adding to our loop of awareness to be able to implement during the week, because Presence Connect play truly is a revolutionary and a wonderful way to be structuring your life rather than who's wrong now. So the presence move is and wonder. So create a and let a wonder question come up for you. Like for me, what was just emerging was, I wonder how I could open even more to the nourishment of beauty today. So just create a and I wonder, and then see what arises. I wonder. And if you like, you can say it out loud. If you like, you can write it down. I encourage you to write it down after we end. So connect is open posture. So we're way ahead of that one today. We've been practicing with opening our posture, but I'd like you to just notice, is there any part of your posture that feels, that is your frame for holding your aliveness. So your posture can give you maximum aliveness or shut down your aliveness. So notice if there's any place in you where you're a little kinked or you're a little flat. I like to remind people under their armpits, that's a highly neglected place that mostly gets folded up and sort of squished into you. So you can play with opening your pits. That'd be a great way to start a meeting, huh? Okay, let's all open our pits before we share our perspective. So, and my phone has shut down again. So now play. Oh, play. This is a really fun one. So mirror the other with your body. So will be a great one for us to end with. So I'd like you to just look at somebody, maybe somebody you don't know, and let yourself mirror. That is, let your body do your best to reflect what the person you're looking at is doing. And then notice when, because you can do loop of awareness with that, notice what it's like to notice them, but then to mirror them and what that feels like in your body. So we have the we have the opening our posture, and we have mirroring. And that can be such a source of nourishment throughout the day. And pick another person to mirror. And I noticed then all of this aliveness that's flowing through, and then one person's mirroring is turning into another, and everybody is kind of moving along. We're creating our own little mirror exhibition here. Love it, love it. Ah, wonderful, wonderful. So thank you so much. And I'm going to take my leave now. You're totally welcome to stay and converse and share. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye now.